What is true motivation? Hi, and welcome back to the bookshelf of timeless works from PeaceBook, a channel sharing knowledge to help you develop yourself comprehensively through great books. Today's video is a reflection inspired by the classic novel The Alchemist, with the theme, Where Does True Motivation Come From? Let's listen together. When we are in our 20s, many of us ask ourselves, what is my dream? What do I really want to do with my life? Then at 25, we ask again, have I truly made an effort to pursue that dream? Am I still walking the path that my heart once chose? And by 30, we once more lower our heads and wonder, if I still haven't achieved that dream, is it too late to begin now? If you are feeling lost in life, if your heart is still uncertain, then by spending just about 2 hours reading The Alchemist, a book of merely 200 pages, you may discover your own answer. This is more than just a book. It's a map of the soul, a spark that has ignited hope in countless readers wandering through darkness. The Alchemist has been published for over 30 years, translated into 81 languages, and sold in more than 170 countries. In Brazil, its popularity is said to rival that of God and football. So what gives this little book such extraordinary power? Perhaps it's because when we open its pages, each of us can see a part of ourselves reflected somewhere in the story. The story begins with a shepherd boy named Santiago who carries a grand dream in his heart: to find a treasure revealed to him through a recurring dream. To follow this dream, he sells all his sheep, his most precious possession. Through countless hardships and trials, he embarks on a journey across the vast desert in search of treasure pointed to by the dream. It sounds simple, even whimsical, but in that simplicity lies a deep and powerful message. Because this isn't just Santiago's journey, it mirrors the spiritual journey of the author himself, Paulo Coelho. Paulo was once a rebellious young man. At 17, his parents sent him to a mental institution because he didn't live up to their expectations. Later in life, he was imprisoned for speaking against a dictatorship. By age 38, his life still seemed to be a series of failures, until he made a decision to walk alone nearly 600 kilometers on a pilgrimage to Santiago de Compostela in Spain. The journey took over 3 months and gradually calmed his fiery heart. From that very experience, Paulo began to pour his insights and reflections into the story of the young shepherd Santiago and his quest for treasure. When The Alchemist was released, it touched the hearts of countless readers who felt lost and confused. It helped Paulo rise to fame as one of the most beloved Latin American writers, often compared to Gabriel Garcia Marquez, author of 100 Years of Solitude. The Alchemist teaches us that a life without purpose is like a chaotic labyrinth. Anyone who steps inside it may end up spending their whole life simply wandering, searching for a way out. If you are too focused on gains and losses, you may end up letting go of your deepest dreams. Santiago was not a chosen one. He was just a regular boy, born into a poor farming family in Spain, where the greatest hope parents had was for their son to become a priest, a stable, respectable life. From the moment he was born, his parents placed all their expectations upon him. They sent him to a seminary, dreaming that one day he would become a source of pride for the family. But Santiago's heart rejected that safe path. One day, he summoned all his courage and told his father he didn't want to be a priest. What he truly desired was to travel, to explore, to see the world. His father strongly opposed the idea at first, but when he saw the unwavering determination in his son's eyes, he finally relented. He handed Santiago 3 gold coins, not just as a compromise, but as a quiet sign of encouragement from someone who had once dreamed the same dream, but never dared to pursue it. Throughout the book, we meet many characters, each with their own forgotten dreams. Santiago's father had once wanted to travel the world. The man selling popcorn on the street dreamed of visiting Africa. The owner of the crystal shop yearned to make a pilgrimage to Mecca. Even the robbers near the pyramids once dreamed of treasure, just like Santiago. But in the end, they all gave up, worn down by reality, afraid of the unknown, discouraged by risk. They lived out their days with regret. And whatever the reason, the root of their decision was always the same: the constant calculation between gain and loss. That cautious math was what slowly smothered their original passion. If we lack courage, if we aren't steadfast in pursuing what we truly want deep down, we'll never be able to break free from the safe little circle of comfort around us. But Santiago did break free. He left his hometown, became a shepherd, and chose to live a life that truly belonged to him. For 2 years he roamed, learned the skills of shepherding, saw beautiful landscapes, met fascinating people. Life seemed good, quiet, comfortable. But then, like a signal from the universe, Santiago had a recurring dream, the same dream 2 nights in a row. In it, a boy led him to Egypt, telling him that a great treasure lay buried near the pyramids. So, what did this dream really mean? Santiago met a mysterious old man who called himself the King of Salem, and he told the boy that the dream wasn't random. It was, in fact, his personal legend. The treasure was tempting, but Santiago's current life felt more secure, more real. He hesitated. He thought long and hard. To pursue the treasure would mean giving up everything he had worked for: his flock, his comfort, his entire world. Just like most people, Santiago came dangerously close to abandoning his destiny, all because of fear. But then the old king said something that stirred his soul. Your personal legend is what you have always wanted to accomplish. That one sentence awakened something deep within Santiago. Wasn't it true that all he had ever really wanted was to see the vast world beyond? Once again, he listened to the voice of his heart. Once again, he chose to follow his dream. Here's something you should remember. The most deceptive thought you'll ever have is the one that whispers, "It's too late. This is just how life is. I must accept reality." But the truth is, that's not your destiny. Real destiny isn't something that leaves you filled with regret. Real destiny is something that makes you feel alive, even when it's hard. People often wonder, will I regret the things I've done or the things I never dared to try? Research shows when people fail at something they tried, the regret fades with time. We explain it away, we learn, we grow. But the things we deeply wanted and never pursued, those regrets stay with us. They linger, they haunt us. They whisper, "What if?" every time we pause for a moment too long. As one writer said, because we never took the first step, our dream kept drifting further away. Dreams can't wait forever, and they fear only one thing: discouragement. Like steel that glows red in fire, if you don't shape it when it's hot, it cools and becomes rigid. It's the same with dreams. When they stir in your heart, act. Take that first step while the fire still burns. Even if you never reach the treasure, the journey will always shape you into a stronger version of yourself. And so Santiago set out again. But shortly after arriving in Africa, the real world struck hard. A stranger who spoke Spanish, someone who seemed kind, tricked him and stole all his money. Just the day before, Santiago had felt full of hope. Now he stood alone, penniless, in a foreign land. He had nothing. His 60 sheep were gone. His home, his money, his plans, all gone. All he had left was a broken heart. But then, deep inside, he remembered the King of Salem's words. When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. That phrase wasn't magic, but it gave him strength. The next day, he picked himself up and walked the streets, searching for any opportunity. He stumbled upon a small crystal shop, dusty, quiet, almost lifeless. By observing carefully, Santiago noticed the crystals were dirty and unappealing. He made an offer to the owner. "Let me clean all the crystals in your shop. All I ask is a meal." Even before getting a yes, Santiago started working, and just as he began wiping the first glasses, 2 customers walked in. Impressed, the owner agreed to hire him. Santiago had a job, but his dream of Egypt was still thousands of miles away. He stayed, not because he gave up, but because he chose to grow first. Days turned into weeks. Santiago introduced new ideas, like serving tea in crystal glasses. Business boomed. He helped the shop thrive. 1 year passed. He now spoke Arabic. He learned how to run a business, and most importantly, he learned the value of patience and persistence. For someone living their true dream, even setbacks become stepping stones. After 12 months, Santiago had saved twice the amount he started with. He now faced a choice: stay and enjoy a wealthy, safe life, or continue chasing a dream with no guaranteed ending. The shop owner urged him to stay, but deep in his soul, Santiago heard the old king's voice again. Always remember what you really want. So he left. Not as a naive shepherd anymore, but as a young man armed with wisdom and clarity. He journeyed onward across the desert and reached an oasis. And there, he met Fatima. From the moment he looked into her eyes, he knew. He loved her. Truly, deeply. So much so, he considered staying forever, forgetting the treasure, forgetting everything, just to be near her. But the dream of the treasure came back again and again, and Santiago realized, if he gave up now, he'd carry regret for the rest of his life. And Fatima, the woman he loved, would end up living with a man full of what-ifs. Fatima understood. She told him, "If you truly love me, go and pursue your dream, and if it's meant to be, you will come back to me." True love doesn't hold you back. It frees you to be your fullest self. And so, Santiago reached the pyramids at last. But just when he thought his journey was over, he was beaten by thieves, robbed, hurt, left for nothing. While mocking him, one of the robbers said, "You idiot, I had a dream once too, about a treasure buried in an old church in Spain where shepherds sleep, but I wasn't stupid enough to chase it." In that moment, Santiago's heart skipped a beat. That place, that church, it was exactly where he had his first dream, where his whole journey had begun. The treasure was always at home. Some might think, so he went on this entire journey for nothing? But they would be wrong. Without that journey, Santiago would never have discovered how brave, how resourceful, how wise he could become. The real treasure wasn't gold. It was the journey, the people he met, the truths he learned, the man he became. Life is not measured by how many days we live, but by how many of those days we truly remember. Dear friends, if you have a dream, follow it. No matter how hard life gets, don't let go of what your heart truly longs for. No one can stop you from living the life you want, except yourself. Believe that true motivation must come from the fire that burns inside you. Believe that there is no tomorrow beyond your reach. For the rest of your life, I hope you have the courage to face what your heart truly desires, to walk boldly toward your dreams, and to live a life that shines with purpose. Thank you for watching this video on PeaceBook. If this story touched your heart, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can continue bringing you timeless lessons from the world's greatest books. Remember, your dreams are waiting, and the journey to pursue them starts today. This is PeaceBook, where wisdom and peace unfold with every page. See you in the next video.